So, can Washington finally reach a deal to end the shutdown, or will the president have to take matters into his own hands with maybe declaring a national emergency? Here to weigh in live, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst, a Republican, of course. Good morning, Senator. Great to have you.
Oh, good morning, Ed. Thanks so much.
So, what do you think is the path ahead? What would you like to hear from the president this afternoon?
Well, I would love to hear that a deal has been reached, but I don't believe that Speaker Pelosi is in town to do that. So I would love to see this shutdown end. We have a lot of workers out there. They are working. They are not currently being paid. But we need to resolve this. And I do believe the president has made very clear that he would like to see additional security at the border. And part of that is through physical barriers. So let's come to an agreement. Let's get this done. Let's get our workers back doing their jobs.
Well, let's break it down because, Senator, as you know, the president brought the Democratic leaders, I believe on more than one occasion, into the White House Situation Room to show them,
yes,
you know, whether it's the intelligence, there's photos, give them the evidence. Let's get beyond the partisan politics and show you the facts. And yet Democrats time and time again say this is a quote unquote manufactured crisis when we're now seeing all the American people can see these images of over 300 migrants, Senator, who crossed into Arizona. They dug under this tunnel underneath a barrier in order to get into America, and now they're seeking asylum, maybe dispersed all around the country. How is that not a crisis?
That is. We have a humanitarian crisis. When we have tens of thousands of inadmissible people coming to our border every month, it is a crisis. We do need to find a way to support the president and his initiatives. And I would point to our Democratic colleagues, both in the House and the Senate, that why are we denying this president the opportunity to erect additional barriers when President Bill Clinton did this, the Presidents Bush did this, as well as President Obama had miles of barriers built during his administration. So now why are they trying to deny this president the same opportunity that previous presidents had?
So, Senator, you started this by saying you hope the president comes out today and says there's at least the outlines of a deal. We're hearing reports that maybe he'll come out and suggest a way forward. He has, as you noted, shown some flexibility, at least by saying, hey, I don't care what you call it, a wall, barrier, cement, concrete, you know, let's just get this thing done. What, to be fair here, what are Republicans in the Senate like yourself, what are you willing to give Democrats to finally get a deal? Is it DACA? Is it something else?
There are a number of us that have agreed there are so many different ways forward. The president has exhibited that, whether it is through DACA, of course, that would come with allowing the president the physical barriers, additional Border Patrol agents, and so forth. There are so many things, whether it's work on the immigration system, work on visas, whatever that path forward might be. We would love to have those discussions. But as I said, Speaker Pelosi has made the choice not to visit with the president. I don't believe she is in Washington, D.C. this week.
Yeah, she just
it's really
left.
Hard to have those conversations.
So, Senator, real quick, on your point right there, we have the photo of Nancy Pelosi at the airport last night heading somewhere out of Washington. You're in Des Moines as well, to be fair, because you want to get back and see your constituents.
Yes, that is fair.
Maybe she headed back to California as well. We'll find out. But you've now introduced a bill that would prohibit members of Congress and the Senate from leaving Washington if they failed to pass a budget on time. Why do we need this? What's your remedy to sort of force people to the table and actually negotiate with the president?
Yes, thank you. I do have a bill. It's been co-sponsored by a number of others in the Senate. It is no budget, no recess, and it would force members of Congress to stay in Washington, D.C. until we had a budget done and until we had those appropriations bills done. They must be done by August 1st. The budget would have to be done by April 15th. And if that were not so, then there would be quorum calls requiring our members to be on the floor twice a day until we work through the impasse. Only 4 times since 1976 has Congress ever done the budget and their appropriations bills on time.
Get lawmakers in both parties to actually stay in Washington and do their job. What a novel concept. Senator, what are you doing trying to bring you're trying to bring common sense to the process? What are you doing?
Yes, trying to bring some Iowa common sense into Washington, D.C. You know, others have to do it. We should, too.
Senator, we appreciate you coming in.
Thanks so much.
All right, we'll have you back soon. Meanwhile, this week,